Have you ever wondered why money is just so dang hard? Why you try to organize it and to put it places and it only seems to work for like a week or two? My name is Brie Sodano. I'm a personal finance expert and the founder of From Sheep to Shark. I invented the invisible system to stop bleeding money and start stacking cash, and I run a 6-month money coaching program called Shark School. What I want to talk to you about today is the reason why budgets always seem to fail, and it never exactly works out the way that we hoped it would. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to just walk down the rabbit hole of the failed budget with you. So just give me like a heart or an emoji if this makes sense, right? So Sunday night, you bust out a piece of paper and your pencil and you write down all your expenses. You write down all your bills. You do a best guess on what you think you spend on groceries and what you think you spend in all these other areas. And then you like set your targets, right? You're like, all right, so we'll cut back on groceries. We'll do this, we'll do that. And then you go about your week. And so Monday happens, and maybe going out to lunch wasn't in the budget, but you forgot lunch. And so then you buy lunch and you figure you'll make it up at the grocery store. And then you're at the grocery store and you can't exactly remember what you spent on lunch. And then the second week happens and you're at the grocery store again, but you don't exactly remember what you spent the first one or how much was left in your budget. And so you just buy the groceries that you need because you need them. And so it's kind of a non-negotiable. And then you realize that you went way over budget and you feel like you did something wrong and you judge yourself harshly and you try again next Sunday, right? And so here's what I want to say is the first reason that budgets fail is because we start with guesses instead of true numbers. Now, the truth is always in the transactions. So if you want to know what you've been spending, you can't start with a blank sheet of paper in the first place. Now, the second reason budgets fail is because budgeting is, I'm going to take it back one little step. So we have two parts of our brain. We have the front part, which is where all our humanness lives. This is where we can plan and set goals and do big things. Now, the subconscious part of the brain is 5 times as strong as the front part, right? And that's where all the doing happens. That's where your emotions, your actions, your behaviors, all of that stuff lives. And so we set plans here, and then we expect our subconscious to do them. And this is why willpower never works. Willpower cannot be counted on because this part of your brain totally overestimates what this part of the brain can do. So budgets are set up for this part of the brain. They're not meant, they're a plan, but they're not meant to be actionable. Budgets are a business tool. Like first and foremost, budgets are meant to be worked with at a table. When you're planning, budgets are just a plan. It's not really an execution tool. And so that's the second reason why budgets really don't work. Now, a good household budget is going to have more than 100 line items. And you cannot possibly keep track of all of that in your mind. It just doesn't work. So this leaves you budget blind at the cash register. And this means that when you're doing your thing, you don't know, and so you're not set up for success. So basically, the way budgets work in common wisdom works right against the way that you would execute. And so when you look at your spending, you don't want to do it just from a dollars and cents standpoint. You want to look at it from a habit standpoint. There's more to money management than just having a good plan. Like, you have to have realistic expectations for yourself, for one, and 2, you have to look at the habits, and then you have to plan at the root of the habit. So for instance, if lunch is a budget buster for you, it's not enough to just say, I'm going to spend less on lunch. You have to say, I'm going to pack lunch, and then commit to taking the action to do that. Just trying to spend less leaves you depending on willpower, and that never seems to work. And so that is part of the reasons why budgets are so dang hard. I just want to tell you all that I am hosting a 2-day money mastery event this January, the 19th and 20th. And in those 2 days, we're going to spend half the time looking at our money mindset and half the time working on the practical applications of money. So if you want to come and learn the invisible system, which is like my pseudo-famous program around this, I'm going to teach that during those 2 days. And then we'll be talking about investments and some other things. Oh, hey, Jess. All right, so that's it. Thank you for hanging out with me. Have a gorgeous Monday.